Hello and good day. This is Philip Branton with the Revoked Civil Servant. I believe it's April 11th here. I think it's a Thursday. But I wanted to take time to make this video and additionally an update to my Revoked Civil Servant GoFundMe page. But I was reading an article out of the Tampa Tribune. This video goes out to, I believe his name is Representative Gus Bilirakis. There, I believe he's out of Tampa. And he was calling for videos concerning the burn pit, a fiasco, because he is, I believe, trying to revitalize legislation to expand benefits for our veterans who have been suffering from side effects. A little bit about me. I worked for 30 years for Spay War Atlantic out of Charleston, South Carolina. Now, Gus, if you're not familiar with Spay War Atlantic, maybe you have some constituents there in Tampa that work for Southcom, Southern Command, and you may be able to talk to, and they may be able to brief you on exactly what all Spay War Atlantic does. If not, you could probably talk to Mr. Joe Cunningham or James Clyburn or any of the other legislative members there from South Carolina. Like I say, I worked there for 30 years. My experience with burn pits. I basically want to pass along just one incident among others, but mine did not come with duty in Iraq or Afghanistan. I served on a TDY with my supervisor at the time, Roy Johnson, who has since retired, there in Djibouti. And basically, they had started to burn the landfill one night, and winds changed direction and came back across the base. You wake up, 3 o'clock in the morning or so, coughing, really can't breathe. You're wondering what's going on. You're in a tent with other men, and you're kind of looking around at each other. What's going on? Walked outside, and there's a thick green haze over the entire base. So, being an engineer, we were told to take precautions and everything, but me and Roy there, well, that's a problem. So what's the solution? And that was probably back in 2006. 2005, maybe? So it's been a while. My main concern for you, Gus, with this burn pit legislation is actually the data that's been compiled this whole time that you may or may not either be aware of, have access to, or be able to validate. You got all different types of players involved with this. Some you may know, some I'm sure you don't. To me, well, with your exchange with Mark Zuckerberg last June, I understand you're a politician. You don't want to give your cards away. But to say the least, I was kind of disappointed about the entire exchange there. Because when it comes to winning hearts and minds, that are, getting to some sort of informational consensus about what's really going on. No, that really didn't solve anything. My experience with spay war, though, we tried to find solutions beyond the perimeter so that all our bases could, have extra, security posture in the event other bases were affected the same way by a change in weather dynamics or out and out purposeful environmental nefarious actions that would affect the entire base population. So Gus, you've got a number of players involved. In addition to SENGAR, the Special Inspector General with the Afghan reconstruction, I'm sure you're aware of all those gas plasma incinerators that were installed over there in the forward operating bases but never turned on. For one reason they were installed, from what I was told, was that, instead of having the trash trucks go off base to deliver to a landfill, they were going to use those plasma units so that there would not have to be burn pits. As, a 30-year civil servant, as spay war, who has, been a part of the contracting process, that raised serious issues and alarms about oversight right off the bat. Naturally, when things like that occur, that raises obvious other red flags about how financing and money flow really is, and the data and accountability of oversight. There's a reason spay war exists. Now, I was separated from spay war back on October 16th of last year. I had my security clearance pulled. It was revoked. For a task that I was assigned and paid to perform in actuality. So Gus, the data that you're getting, okay, I understand you're wanting all these videos, but there are certain counter reverberations you may not be aware of. One of them is definitely on the insurance and health side of the issue. Yeah, VA, they say the data is not conclusive. They don't want to cover certain, certain cases of trauma, I guess. Okay. Also, once people are separated, a lot of this data is also being used by private insurance companies to actually either determine certain rates or actually outright deny coverage. Yeah. So right now, that comes into play with maybe how some of your fellow legislators maybe can't come to a consensus. Now, I don't know if you've ever read this book by Michael Lewis. It's about front running in the stock market. How honorable you are right now by going out and asking for these videos. And I hope I'm, one of 10,000, one of 50,000. My experience is no more valuable than someone else's. Especially for the people in uniform who serve and were diligently there at the base 24/7, whereas I came and went on TDY. That is something that I feel like through this video you need to be made aware of, or your congressional office chief information officer, who basically weeds through all these videos, need to be made aware of before you, let's say you get 1,000 videos. Are you going to sit there and watch 1,000 videos? Probably not. You're going to say, all right, Miss Intern, Mr. Intern, Chief Information Officer, which 10 do I need to watch? Which one are going to have the most impact on the legislative delegation? And so that's why I wanted, number one, to allude to the possibility of the timing of all of this, because history repeats itself. Now, I know we're running around 11, 12 minutes here. I don't really want to get too long. But how your information is being gathered compared to a timeline of historical informational type operations with respect to how much coverage this issue is getting. Because Susan Burke, she's a lawyer who's been compiling this data now and trying to bring a certain legal recourse through the court system to get relief for veterans and civil servants, I do believe, who were exposed. On top of NAVFAC, Naval Facilities, who does a lot of environmental analysis on the buildings that they construct and maintain. Army Corps of Engineers, the head of Navy personnel. I mean, just take SPAWAR, for instance. The people there in the travel department. It'd be very easy for them to query on their database there in SPAWAR exactly how many people had trips to Djibouti, Africa, or Kabul, or Bagram, or any of the bases. So your constituents there in Southern Command, you can talk to them and ask them, all right, these videos I'm getting, and you can present them with whatever type of data spread you want to present them with. And then ask them point blank, all right, guys, what are we missing here? What data is out there that maybe Susan Burke is not privy to? Okay? What databases can be queried? Okay? It may give you a better analysis of what you're being provided, because I understand how that information is manipulated up a chain of command. I know firsthand. And a lot of my work was how that data was being manipulated across not only internal DoD networks, but open source networks. Very alarming. Because you and your fellow legislators, your decisions are always going to be predicated on the quality of political information that you have to base your decisions on. Like I say, I'm a 30-year veteran. I wore this SPAWAR vision placard around my neck. Maybe not 20 years of my 30 years. I'd say at least probably 15. Says our vision is to know, deliver knowledge superiority to the warfighter at the right time and for the right cost. And might I add, to win. Win. Our values: righteousness, innovation, teamwork, excellence, openness, respect, and diversity. Navy core values: honor, courage, and commitment. Now, Gus, Captain Heller, the former captain, Captain, I believe, Sanders now, and Chris Miller there at Spay War, they're all honorable men. Yeah, my security clearance got revoked. But I took that risk after going to Google in Reston, Virginia, probably in 2004. Because my supervisor at the time, Roy Johnson, we saw some of the not only possibilities, but some of the inherent security problems that would be arising. How that information flow, especially through a chain of command, gets vetted and validated. Yes. Was I exposed once? Yeah. I took that risk when I signed up to be a civil servant. You probably won't have another person from Spay War make a video for you. I'm just a little different. When you realize how certain information is being manipulated, and it starts affecting the data that some of our troops may be getting downrange, that's a problem to be pursued. That's a problem to try to solve. And let me tell you, people that I serve with there at Spay War Atlantic, they don't stop. They don't quit. Are they as vocal as I am? No. They're just as fearful of losing their security clearance. Okay? I'm making this video today, not for myself, but the people I serve with in uniform. Because sometimes you come across, they think civil servants don't care. And that's not true. And they laughing. Sometimes they look at you and with serious eye. Hey, we're sacrificing everything. What are you sacrificing? These people in uniform that served and unawareingly had to have duty at these burn pits, or had duty on these bases that they may had no earthly idea. They didn't know what how their trash was. They just realized that every day they came in, wow, there's dust on my desk. or maybe someone from NAVFAC going out to do maintenance on HVAC filters said, wow, what happened last night? This filter wasn't like this last week. Okay? So Gus, God bless you. And God bless our troops. There are solutions to this problem. If all that money is spent to install those units and never turn them on, what does that tell you, Gus? Maybe they don't want soldiers seeing this technology work, because the first thing a soldier is going to think, wow, why don't I have one of these in my subdivision? Or, wow, how much smaller can we make these units so I can have one at my house? And then then I can sell the energy from my trash. So a lot of the reasons, the data is showing me that the reason these units were never turned on, the telephone booth is much bigger than a cell phone. What would people rather use today? A telephone booth or a cell phone? Cell phone. So think about looking at one of those plasma units the same way. Wow, why do I want to truck my trash 40 miles to a landfill for that big, huge incinerator plasma unit when I can have one at my house? That may be some of the data that you are missing in presenting some of your legislators. Because in 2008, I went to see Governor Mark Sanford about this very issue in June of 2008. I sure did. Now, if you were governor and somebody from Spay-War Atlantic or somebody from Southcom took time, drove 2 hours to see you, do you think there was more to the drive and conversation than just plasma machines? I would hope you would think so. It's 23 minutes. Gus, God bless you. I hope this video helps you. I hope it helps the troops. And I hope it puts a smile on the leadership of Spay-War Atlantic. Because at first, it probably won't. But once they think about it, hopefully deep down there'll be a silent cheer. Gus, Spay-War Atlantic, they don't stop. I hope you don't either. God bless you, and have a great day, and hopefully this video helps. If you need other information, my number is 843-588-5089. Because right now, the timing of how you're asking for this video, based on my data, it has serious ramifications for Monsanto, Johnson & Johnson, and Boeing. It's the data flow, Gus. So thank you, and have a great day.